Have you ever wondered what truly happens inside the brain of someone with dementia? Beyond the forgetfulness, beyond the confusion, there are changes so profound, yet so silent, that they can transform a person's world completely. In today's video, we're going to uncover 5 surprising things that can happen in dementia, and some of them might even change the way you see memory, identity, and life itself. So stay with me until the end, because I'll also share something special. A video below in the description and the first pinned comment, where you'll discover a 7-second ritual you can do at home to help recover the memory you once had at 20. Now let's take a deep breath together, because talking about dementia and Alzheimer's disease is not just about science or medicine, it's about people, about loved ones who start losing little pieces of themselves, about families watching someone they care about slowly drift away in moments of confusion, silence, or fear. Maybe you've noticed early signs of dementia in someone close, or even in yourself, forgetting familiar faces, losing track of time, or experiencing that strange brain fog where everything feels blurry, like you're awake but not truly present. And if you have felt that, you're not alone. Studies from the Alzheimer's Association show that more than 55 million people worldwide are living with some form of dementia. That includes Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, and frontotemporal dementia. Each type affects the brain in a different way, but they all share one thing in common. They take away the very essence of who we are, our memories. That's why understanding these surprising effects of dementia matters, because the earlier we recognize them, the better we can act, the better we can protect our brains, and maybe the better we can bring back the clarity, focus, and sharp memory that once defined us. And if at any moment you feel inspired to take action, I'll remind you. There's a simple 7-second ritual linked below that many people are now using from home to begin restoring mental clarity naturally. Let's start with the first surprising thing that can happen in dementia. 1. The time shift, living in a different era. One of the earliest signs of dementia is temporal disorientation, the feeling of living in another time. Someone with Alzheimer's or Lewy body dementia might wake up believing they're 20 years old again, or think their children are still in school. They might ask for relatives who passed away decades ago, or try to leave home to go to a job they retired from long ago. Why does this happen? Because dementia slowly affects the hippocampus, the region of the brain responsible for short-term memory and time perception. When this part of the brain begins to degenerate, recent memories fade first, leaving only older, deeper memories intact. Imagine your memory like a bookshelf. Dementia starts by removing the books from the top, the most recent ones, leaving the older ones untouched at the bottom. This is why a person with Alzheimer's disease may not remember what they had for breakfast, but can recall their wedding day in perfect detail. They are literally living in their past. And while this might sound sad, there's something deeply human about it. The brain desperately clinging to what it can still recognize. What can we do? One practical tip is creating a time bridge, gently reorienting them without confrontation. Instead of saying, "No, Mom, that's not true," you might say, "That was a beautiful time, wasn't it? Let me show you what's happening today." Then show a photo, a calendar, or something current. This helps stimulate short-term memory recall while keeping emotional safety. By the way, if you've ever noticed yourself or someone close experiencing short-term memory lapses or that foggy head feeling, I've placed a video below explaining a simple at-home technique, the 7-second ritual, that may help clear brain fog instantly and begin reversing early memory decline naturally. 2. Emotional amplification. The heart becomes louder than logic. Another surprising change in dementia is how emotions become stronger and logic weaker. The parts of the brain responsible for emotion, like the amygdala, often stay active even as rational processing declines. That means people with dementia can feel emotions intensely, even if they can't explain why. You might notice someone with dementia crying without clear reason, laughing uncontrollably, or showing fear during harmless moments. This isn't randomness, it's emotional memory taking control. While short-term memory loss erases facts, emotional memory often remains. A person might not remember your name, but they can remember how you make them feel. So, instead of trying to reason logically, it's better to connect emotionally. Hold their hand, smile, speak softly. This not only comforts them, but can trigger dopamine and serotonin release, the same feel-good chemicals that help the brain build new neural connections. It's fascinating because even when Alzheimer's dementia progresses and words fade, emotions still communicate louder than language. And this gives us hope that love, calm voices, and gentle presence can still reach where medicine can't. If you've ever felt your own emotions becoming harder to control, maybe feeling anxious, forgetful, or foggy without reason, know that emotional imbalance can also come from brain fog or lack of sleep. There's a way to clear brain fog instantly with simple natural methods, and I've left that video below for you to explore when this one ends. 3. The sensory mirage, seeing and hearing what's not there now. One of the most unexpected things that can happen in dementia, especially Lewy body dementia, is visual and auditory hallucinations. People may see patterns, faces, or shadows that aren't real. They might hear voices or music coming from nowhere. This doesn't mean they're losing their mind. It means that protein deposits called Lewy bodies are interrupting brain communication. These deposits affect both memory and perception areas, creating what feels like a split between reality and memory. Imagine a radio switching between two stations at once. That's what their perception feels like. Families often panic when this happens, but compassion is key. Instead of denying their experience which increases fear, you can say, "I understand that feels real to you. Let's sit together." Touch, tone, and calm lighting can make a big difference. Interestingly, mild sensory confusion, like hearing your name when no one called or briefly seeing movement in the corner of your eye, can also happen to people under high stress, poor sleep, or chronic mental fog. If that sounds familiar, you might want to check out that video below where I explain the 7-second ritual to improve focus, reduce fog, and restore mental clarity naturally from home. 4. The personality mirror, becoming someone else. Another surprising effect of dementia is personality change. Someone calm and gentle may become angry or suspicious. Someone quiet may become overly talkative or even impulsive. This often happens in frontotemporal dementia, which affects the brain's frontal lobe, the area responsible for behavior, self-control, and social awareness. It's heartbreaking for families because it feels like their loved one isn't themselves anymore. But it's important to remember this isn't their fault. It's the disease altering the brain's wiring. Think of it like a piano with missing keys. The melody sounds different, but the instrument is still there underneath. Sometimes small lifestyle changes like consistent routines, calm environments, and soft background music can stabilize mood and reduce aggression or anxiety. And again, sleep plays a massive role. Chronic lack of sleep brain fog not only worsens confusion, but can speed up cognitive decline. Prioritizing deep sleep and balanced nutrition rich in omega-3, magnesium, and B vitamins can slow the progress of Alzheimer's disease and improve daily clarity. As we continue, we'll explore even more fascinating and emotional changes, including how dementia can sometimes awaken unexpected creativity and why moments of lucidity can appear even after years of decline. But before we move on, take a deep breath, because understanding these moments means understanding the very core of human memory and how fragile yet powerful it truly is. And remember, if you or someone you love has been feeling that heavy, foggy mind lately, the video below explains how you can begin reversing those early signs using a simple, natural method, the 7-second ritual you can do right from your own home. Sometimes, in the quiet moments of dementia, something extraordinary happens. Amidst the confusion and memory loss, a spark of creativity can suddenly appear. A poem, a melody, a drawing, or a vivid story. It's as if the brain, even while losing some pathways, finds new roads to express itself. This is what I call the creative awakening, the fourth surprising thing that can happen in dementia. You might have seen this before. A person who never painted before suddenly begins creating beautiful artwork. Someone who struggled to speak now hums familiar tunes with emotion. It almost feels like the brain, desperate to communicate, begins to use the heart instead of words. Neurologists have observed that when logical and memory-based areas of the brain are damaged, like in frontotemporal dementia, other regions, such as those responsible for emotion and creativity, can become more active. It's fascinating and humbling because it reminds us that even when some doors close, others open. A study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that people with mild Alzheimer's dementia showed increased artistic expression, possibly because the loss of inhibition frees the brain from its usual filters. In a way, dementia can reveal the raw essence of emotion, no longer constrained by self-criticism or fear of judgment. Families often find comfort in this phase. I remember one story of a woman named Eleanor. She had vascular dementia, and as her memory faded, she began to spend hours coloring. At first, the colors seemed random, but soon they became structured, full of emotion. Her daughter said, "It's like she's speaking through colors now." That artwork became her diary, her way of leaving pieces of her soul behind when words could no longer carry them. If you've ever felt your own creativity fading due to stress, mental fog, or fatigue, remember that your brain has endless potential for renewal. It just needs clarity. In another video I've linked below, I explain a 7-second ritual that helps people clear brain fog instantly, reduce fatigue, and regain mental energy. Even if they've struggled for years, you can watch it right after this one to begin reawakening your own focus and creativity naturally. 5. The moments of lucidity, the brain's final gift. The fifth and perhaps most mysterious thing that can happen in dementia is what doctors call terminal lucidity. It's when a person who has been lost in deep dementia for months or even years suddenly becomes alert, coherent, and emotionally connected, often shortly before passing away. Families describe these moments as miraculous. A father who hadn't recognized his children for years suddenly looks at them, smiles, and says their names. A mother bedridden and silent suddenly whispers, "I love you." Science still can't fully explain this phenomenon. Some theories suggest that during the final stages of Alzheimer's disease or Lewy body dementia, the brain releases certain neurochemicals that temporarily restore communication between neurons. Others believe it's a deep spiritual awakening, the mind's last effort to reconnect with the soul before letting go. Whatever it is, these moments remind us of something deeply powerful. Memory is not just stored in the brain, it's also stored in the heart. The essence of who we are cannot be fully erased. Even when short-term memory loss or amnesia takes hold, love and connection remain imprinted in ways science can't yet measure. If you've ever witnessed something like this, or if you've felt small flashes of clarity after periods of confusion, you've seen the resilience of the human mind. That same resilience is what allows recovery to begin, even after years of fog and forgetfulness. And that's exactly what I explain in the video below, how thousands of people have begun reclaiming their focus and memory through a simple 7-second ritual done daily from home. Now let's pause for a moment. I want you to imagine the brain not as a machine, but as a symphony. Every instrument represents a memory, a habit, a feeling, a face. Dementia doesn't silence the music, it just detunes it. But sometimes a single note, a smell, a song, a photo can bring the entire melody back for a few precious moments. That's the beauty of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and rebuild. And this is where hope truly lives. Even though treatment of Alzheimer's disease and dementia treatments are still evolving, research shows that lifestyle factors, nutrition, sleep, stress reduction, and cognitive exercises can dramatically slow progression and even reverse brain fog symptoms. Let's explore a few simple actions you can take starting today. First, nourish your brain. Your brain thrives on oxygen and nutrients. Omega-3 fatty acids found in salmon and walnuts support brain cell communication. Antioxidants in blueberries, green tea, and turmeric help reduce inflammation, one of the hidden causes of fuzzy brain symptoms and mental fog. Second, prioritize sleep. Chronic lack of sleep brain fog is one of the most common reasons for cognitive decline. During deep sleep, your brain actually washes itself, flushing out toxins through the glymphatic system. Missing that cleansing phase is like leaving your computer running without ever rebooting. If you often wake up tired or mentally cloudy, improving sleep quality might be the fastest way to boost clarity and protect against early signs of dementia. Third, challenge your mind gently every day. Memory is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. You don't need to solve puzzles all day. Even learning a few words in another language or recalling your grocery list from memory can help strengthen neural pathways. Finally, reduce stress and emotional overload. Chronic anxiety floods your body with cortisol, which damages the hippocampus, the very center of memory. Try meditation, slow breathing, or simply walking in nature. Those moments of calm aren't just relaxing, they literally help regrow brain connections. You see, memory loss diseases like Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, or frontotemporal dementia don't have to mean the end of joy or identity. Even in their shadow, the light of connection, creativity, and love continues to shine. And while science works toward new cures, what we can do now with lifestyle and natural brain support already makes an incredible difference. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing natural solutions. Because while medication can manage symptoms, brain fog treatment begins with giving your brain the environment to heal. And if you're curious about how people are restoring sharper memory, deeper focus, and calm mental energy naturally, don't forget to check out the video I mentioned. It's linked below in the description and pinned comment. It explains that 7-second ritual anyone can do daily, right from home, to begin reclaiming the clarity of their 20s again. And if you've been finding this video helpful so far, leave a quick comment below. Tell me if you or someone you love has ever shown one of these surprising signs. That helps not only me, but also others who are walking the same path to feel less alone. There's something truly humbling about watching the human brain, the most complex structure in the universe, slowly lose its grip on what once made us who we are. Yet within that tragedy, there's also a strange beauty, because dementia doesn't just erase memories. Sometimes it uncovers hidden truths about the mind, the body, and even the soul. And that's what I want to explore with you next. When people think of dementia, they often imagine only memory loss, forgetting names, dates, or faces. But the truth is that dementia can change almost every system in the body. It can affect movement, vision, sleep, and even smell. These may seem like small changes, but they can actually offer some of the first signs of dementia long before full memory loss appears. Let's start with sleep and dreaming. People with Lewy body dementia often experience vivid dreams, so vivid that they physically act them out. This condition, known as REM sleep behavior disorder, can cause them to shout, punch, or even fall out of bed during sleep. What's remarkable is that these dream disturbances can appear years before memory problems begin. It's one of the earliest clues that something is happening in the brain's communication system. During REM sleep, the brain processes memories, emotions, and even cleans up mental clutter. But when brain fog from lack of sleep builds up, even in people without dementia, the brain's ability to reset itself weakens. That's why poor sleep is one of the biggest risk factors for Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia. The brain becomes cloudy, slow, and less capable of flushing out toxic proteins that cause damage over time. So, if you often feel tired, foggy, or disconnected, that foggy head symptom could be your brain signaling for help. And it's exactly the kind of issue you can begin improving naturally. I've placed a link below to a video where I explain how thousands of people are already using a simple 7-second ritual to clear brain fog instantly and improve focus from home. It's an easy first step to protecting your mind. Another surprising effect of dementia, and one that many people rarely talk about, is the change in sensory perception. The brain doesn't just lose memories, it loses the ability to interpret the world accurately. A person with Alzheimer's dementia might no longer recognize familiar objects. A fork might suddenly look strange. The color red might seem brighter. The floor might look wet when it's dry. This happens because dementia disrupts the brain's filter, mixing signals from sight, touch, and emotion. Imagine walking into your living room and feeling like everything is slightly changed, as if you're in a dream version of reality. That's what many people with dementia describe during early stages. They know something is off but can't explain it. This contributes to anxiety and paranoia, feelings that can be softened with calm reassurance. If you're caring for someone going through this, keep rooms bright, organized, and familiar. Familiarity is the greatest comfort to a confused brain. Visual cues, family photos, warm lighting, and gentle smells like lavender can bring someone back into the present moment more effectively than words ever could. Now, here's something fascinating. Even when someone with memory loss struggles to find words, music often remains untouched. The area of the brain that processes melody and rhythm is one of the last to be affected in dementia. That's why people who can no longer speak may still sing entire songs from their youth word for word. It's as if music reaches the deepest part of the soul, a part dementia can't destroy. In one study, Alzheimer's patients who listened to familiar songs daily showed improvement in mood, focus, and even short-term memory recall. Music, smell, and touch are powerful memory triggers. They bypass logic and go straight to the emotional core of the brain. I want to share another story, one that stayed with me. A man named Robert, who had frontotemporal dementia, was once an engineer. As his illness progressed, he stopped speaking completely. But one day, his daughter played the song that used to play at their Sunday breakfasts. Slowly, he began to tap his fingers on the table. Then, softly, he began to hum. For a few seconds, his daughter saw a glimpse of her father again. Not the disease, not the confusion, but him. That moment meant everything. And that's why understanding these surprising effects is so vital, because dementia isn't just about loss. It's also about what remains, about the love, emotion, and connection that stay long after facts fade. Now let's talk about something that gives us even more hope, the brain's ability to rebuild itself, even after years of decline. Scientists call it neuroplasticity, and it means your brain can grow new neurons, new connections, and even recover lost functions at any age. When you practice small daily habits, like learning something new, walking outside, reducing sugar intake, and getting enough quality sleep, you're literally rebuilding the architecture of your brain. You're strengthening the same neural networks that Alzheimer's disease tries to break down. That's why many people who once felt trapped in mental fog or short-term memory loss are now regaining clarity, not through complicated treatments, but through small, consistent actions. And in the video linked below, you'll see exactly how that 7-second ritual helps activate a key switch in your brain for oxygen and glucose flow, two of the main fuels your neurons need to function at their best. Another hidden aspect of dementia is how it alters spatial awareness. People begin to get lost in places they once knew. They might mistake reflections for other people or walk into rooms and not recognize them. This is why signs of early onset dementia can include getting lost while driving familiar routes or forgetting the layout of one's own home. The visual confusion often leads to fear, and fear creates agitation. But when caregivers respond with patience and empathy instead of correction, everything changes. A gentle tone, soft music, and predictable routines can transform fear into calm. You see, even when logic disappears, emotional safety remains deeply understood. And that's something we all need to remember, whether we're helping someone with dementia or simply fighting our own mental fatigue and forgetfulness. Our brains respond to kindness, to calm, to consistency. If you've ever felt your mind clouded, your focus fading, or your memory slipping, it doesn't mean your brain is failing. It means it's asking for help. And help doesn't always come in the form of medication. Sometimes it begins with a change in how you live, breathe, sleep, and nourish your body. That's why in this channel, we talk not just about dementia treatments or treatment of Alzheimer's, but about everyday tools to clear brain fog, boost clarity, and protect memory naturally. And if this message resonates with you, make sure you stay until the end because I'll be showing where you can watch a detailed explanation of the 7-second home ritual that people are using to begin restoring memory and reversing cognitive decline naturally. So as we move into the final part of this video, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned so far. Dementia changes how we remember, how we feel, how we see, but it never takes away who we truly are. And that's the lesson that gives meaning, not just to science, but to life itself. And now there's something powerful you can do, something simple, natural, and scientifically backed. It's what I mentioned earlier, the 7-second home ritual that's helping people around the world recover sharper thinking, clearer focus, and even improve sleep. I've left the full video for you down below. In the description and the first pinned comment, watch it right after this one. You'll see exactly how this short daily habit works to help the brain restore balance, circulation, and oxygen flow, all of which are vital for repairing short-term memory loss and fighting brain fog. Before we close, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine waking up in the morning feeling refreshed, not groggy, not foggy, but clear. You remember what you had planned. You find the right words when you speak. You walk into a room and instantly know why you're there. You feel calm, focused, and capable again. Your loved ones notice the difference. Your energy, your confidence, your smile. So before you go, here's what I'd love for you to do. If this video touched you, if it opened your eyes or made you think of someone you love, please leave a comment below and tell me what part resonated most. Was it the emotional side, the science, the stories? Your words could inspire someone else watching this right now who's feeling lost or scared. And if this video helped you, please take one small step further. Click the like button so YouTube can share this message with more people who need it. Subscribe to the channel because every week we explore new topics to help you clear brain fog, strengthen memory, and keep your mind sharp for life. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I have a feeling it might just be the one that changes everything for you. And don't forget, right below, you'll find that special video I mentioned earlier about how to recover the memory you had at 20 using a natural 7-second ritual you can easily do from home. Watch it now while it's still available because it connects perfectly with everything we discussed today. You deserve to remember. You deserve to wake up clear, confident, and present because your memories aren't just part of your past. They're the bridge to your future. And by taking care of your brain, you're not only preserving who you are, you're protecting every beautiful moment still waiting to be lived. So stay strong, stay curious, and never give up on your mind because healing, just like memory, always begins with a single thought. And I'll see you in the next video. Next.